Nobody cares about you. You two sheep. This is who I'm talking to. You. Nobody cares. No one cares about you. I'm just kidding. What's up, guys? This video is gonna be about the sentence. Nobody cares about you. No one really cares that much about you because I don't know. I think a lot of people, for me especially, as a youngin, as a young a boy, a child, if you will. I think boy falls under that category. As one of those things, those little gremlins, those nasty little creatures. I had a lot of insecurity growing up, especially when puberty hit. And I think that's true for most people. But, the kids that are more destined and kind of, not their fate. Their fate is like when you die. They're destined to be more awkward than the average kid. I think those are really the ones that end up being more insecure because, they're not really meshing as well with, the crowd, the majority of people. I would be sprinting as I'm running right now, but I'm starving, so there's nothing to eat. Let me find somebody to eat. Come here. And I know the title of this video sounds a little mean. It's not meant to be like that. In that regard, and like in the regard of whether someone genuinely cares about you, people do, of course. I care about you. I don't even know you, but I care about you. I hope you're doing all right. But more so, people don't really care about you as much as you think they do, or they don't think about you as much as you would think they do. And I'm sure maybe that sounds easier. Like if you just sit down and think, it's like, well, yeah, no shit. People don't think about me as much as I do. I'm me. I think about me way more than I think of, Jim down the street, like 7 houses down. I only think of Jim when I see him getting his mail. But I don't know. It's like an innate thing for me, at least. It's been throughout my teen years, and I don't know. I struggled a lot with always kind of treating, any situation where I had to be around other people and around kids in school, and I hated being around crowds and just, the commotion, the noise. Oh, Jesus Christ. Not gonna fight him. I need to sprint, dude. I eat some raw beef. That's disgusting. As someone who puts raw meat on a shelf sometimes at work when I'm in that department, it's so much grosser when you're actually envisioning real raw meat. Dude. Okay. Alright. So nobody cares about you. Just like that skeleton didn't really care about me. He's not thinking about me right now. What is he doing? He's probably picking up my loot. He's going home to jump his wife's bones. People don't think about you as much as you think they do, and they're not thinking of the little times when, you embarrass yourself or you say something that sounds stupid, and just times like that. I know, what am I doing, dude? I'm like snuggling with zombies. I'm sorry, this video's like so all over the place. I was always so worried with sounding stupid. I think part of that, that's a personal thing to me because my brother was kind of an ass growing up. He was a big old ass, and I've had enough people throughout my like growing up years that were the types to, like go out of their way to try to make you feel dumb for asking questions that they would rather you ask them. Like, you ever had a coworker that's like, or, if you're younger and you're not, if you haven't worked a job yet, just any situation where there's something that someone wants you to get done, and you feel like you need to ask a question, you need to ask for clarification on something, and they're the type of person to go out of their way to try to make you feel stupid for asking that question. But if you don't ask that question, and, they kind of get that message in your head, the message that, if I ask for clarification, if I try to make sure I'm doing this up to your standard, or, doing this the way you want it done, I'm not going to win. If I need to ask that, I need to just go ahead and do it without trying to ask these extra questions, because you're going to make me feel like I'm stupid. So clearly you don't want me to ask those questions if you think me asking those questions is a stupid thing to do, because you're treating me like I'm stupid when I ask those questions. So you end up not asking those questions in situations like that, and what ends up happening with people who are assholes like that, you end up making tiny little mistakes here and there because you weren't given the chance to ask for clarification, and make sure you're doing everything the exact way they want you to, or performing up to their standard, and they end up treating you like you're stupid for making those mistakes that you wouldn't have made if they had created an environment where where it was okay to ask for that clarification that you needed. And I feel like people like that make it really hard, or have made it hard for me at least. I don't know if maybe there's people that are similar to that for you guys, for different people watching this. They just make you feel judged and make you feel stupid or dumb, and then for me at least, it kind of made me hyper aware of things that might make me feel embarrassed, or anytime anything would happen, or your mom brings up like something from your childhood that was a little embarrassing, and it's like it bothers you more than it should, even now that you're older. Or that's just one example, but just where you get conditioned to go out of your way to avoid those embarrassing things, and it really sucks that people like that tend to treat like decent people. I think I don't know, for me it's normally even older people, or people who are just like bully types in school, and they never grew out of that or matured into healthy minded adults who have enough self-control to not belittle people. And it sucks because that's not what most people are like. There's a lot of good people in the world, and yet for me it was like they conditioned, like just having to interact with people like that through different like segments of my life, different chapters or whatever, kind of conditioned me to just be on guard for judgment that wasn't likely to even come, especially as an adult. And as an adult, not being in school, because kids are assholes. In school, kids have all kinds of stuff that they want to say, and kids are bullies and stuff. And in adulthood, they're way less like that, but also the ones that are still like that, those bully types, don't have as much of an effect on you. Because like as a kid, like what are you gonna do? You gotta tell the principal, you gotta do this, that, whatever. As an adult, like go to HR, uh, call like the ethics or department or something like that, whatever you have at your your workplace. Or if it's not even someone you work with, if it's just like, I don't know, it's way more easily avoidable, but it's something that I've really been trying to work on the last like 6 months or so, that I've really noticed how much of an effect it had on me. It's hard to kind of unwrite that conditioning. For me, it's been, at least. Or it was hard to even notice that had become my conditioning. To constantly be on guard for things that would make me look dumb, for asking questions that would make me seem stupid. Times where, you would feel embarrassed, or you might feel embarrassed, even though it's not a big deal, and people might think you're just taking yourself too seriously and this and that, and they don't realize that you're not really trying to. It's a thing that you're not even aware that you're doing at that point. Or maybe you are aware of like how upset it makes you, or how you're aware of how strongly, or aware of the links you go to avoid it, to avoid, asking those quote unquote stupid questions, and or doing anything that makes you look dumb, going out of your comfort zone, and being more expressive. You're more on guard, you're more reserved and closed up and insecure. And back to what I was saying was about, most people aren't actually like that. Think about the last time that you saw someone at work, or someone someone you see like pretty often in your day-to-day life, at least a couple times a week, maybe a coworker or something. Think about the last time they did something super embarrassing or super stupid, that was like genuinely like something that they got really embarrassed about. And it's like, for me at least, I can't think of one. I can't think of a time like that that pops into my mind, and that's with me trying to. That's with me trying to actively think of something like that that's like a really embarrassing moment for people I know. So like, how do you think it is for these people that know you, for people in your life, when they're not even trying to think of like embarrassing things about you? They're not thinking about you. They're not thinking about that time you asked this silly question, or this and that. It's just, people aren't judging you as much as you think they might. And if they do, judge you for a moment. First of all, if it's a stranger, if you're worried about like, I don't know, for me, I got a skateboard a couple years ago, and I only practiced at night, because luckily there are like street lights and stuff. And I don't know, I was embarrassed. I didn't want to like do that. I just felt vulnerable, I didn't want to do that in front of people. What if I fell off? Then I'm the idiot that fell off his skateboard down there in the street. Luckily, I never fell off of it, and I ended up not really practicing it very much more. I still got it. It's under my bed. I haven't gotten on it in a long time. But my point with this whole thing is that people don't care about the little things that you feel embarrassed about, or like things that would make you feel embarrassed. They don't judge you as much as you would think. And they don't judge you as hard as you judge yourself. They don't think about you as much as you think about yourself. They don't think about all the little things that make you insecure, because they don't even know what makes you insecure. They don't know what you're insecure about, and you're damn sure not telling them. That's the whole point of it. That's the whole thing that makes it one of your insecurities, is you're not going to talk about it. You're going to hope they don't notice it. And I promise you that they don't notice it. And if they do, they don't give a shit. Most grown adults, or even people in school, like kids can be mean and like make comments sometimes, but in reality, they're not actually thinking about it outside of that. Most often, when kids make asshole comments, or people in general, if you're an adult who knows another adult who's still acting like a child and making asshole comments, it's not out of a place of genuine judgment for the person they're judging or being mean to, or whatever. It's out of a place of, they're emotionally stunted, and they're trying to get some type of like chemical release in their brain that makes them feel big and bad. But in reality, when they go home and they look in the mirror, they're either an absolute lunatic, just completely delusional of reality, if they see anything other than someone who's very pathetic. And they likely probably have a really messed up home life, and that's not an excuse. I'm just saying, it's not out of a place of genuine judgment for you, and it's not something they're thinking of regardless. So just hope that these words can help people in the way that I needed help more in my teen years, because I'm in my early 20s now, and it's taken me a long time to realize that people aren't thinking about me. And that sounds narcissistic, but it wasn't like that. It's just, no one's thinking about the little embarrassing things. I can't even hardly remember anyone's name from middle school. I damn sure can't remember anyone's name from like elementary. Like those aren't the things that stick out in their minds. Most things are forgotten. Jesus, voice crack. I'm leaving that in. I don't care. Tired of worrying about stuff like that. I guess that's part of the judgment thing I'm talking about in this video. Are you guys gonna judge me for my voice crack? But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this was able to try to help you realize that I promise people are not thinking about you and judging you as much as you think they are, and it is okay to just be yourself and be more unapologetically yourself. You've got one life to live, and I hope that my words were able to help you find some confidence to get out there more and live it and do the things you want and be who you want, and not be so worried about, the opinions of people who you don't even care about in the first place. Whether they're a stranger, and so you don't care about their opinion, or they're an asshole who you're stuck with, like a blood relative who's an ass, you don't really care about them either. Or at least not their opinion of you. You shouldn't. I hope this was able to help. I hope this provided you some value. And if it did, if you want to support the channel, well, I don't know. I guess if you want to see more videos like this, that's all I'm going to ask. Is if you want to subscribe. But, it's fully up to you. But I hope that you'll choose to stick around, because I'm really excited about making more videos like this and getting better at articulating myself, because apparently it's something I struggle with more than I realized after starting making these commentary videos. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. And yeah, have a great night. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. My mouse is not turning. Okay, there we go.